The inspiration is you wanted to show your ass.
Yeah. Shout out to these two guys when they took the album photo cover because I edited out my balls for like a couple hours. They had to zoom in on that thing and edit out my balls.
Alrighty, I'm here at Howdy in Kansas City, Missouri with Weaponize Chomsky. Would y'all mind introducing yourselves?
Hey, I'm Judah.
I'm Sam.
I'm Reese.
We got a pretty great show tonight. It is someone's birthday, Sam.
Sam's birthday.
Hell yeah, well, happy birthday. I wanted to start it off. I'd be remiss if we didn't show up with the birthday present. So I didn't know exactly what you would want, but I figure maybe a little childhood memory, perhaps.
These are like Clorox wipes almost. Oh, shit. This is amazing. I was actually never on this, surprisingly. This is great. I'm going to have to drink it all up with the boys.
Oh yeah, you can share with the homies.
Okay,
you know, who doesn't love chalky milk? You know, y'all have experience playing here at Howdy. Can you tell us a bit about that and what it's like playing shows here at Howdy?
Farewell and Howdy are the epicenter of the scene as we know it. So it's very homey. We love all the people that work here. It's very welcoming, just good Kansas City vibes. Howdy is all ages, so we like how inclusive that is. So the younger folks can come out and they're a little bit more rowdy and flail around, and that's kind of fun to perform to. So yeah, we love Howdy. Yeah.
Can you tell us about like your favorite part of a Weaponized Chomsky show?
The energy is my favorite part. I wasn't originally in the band. I saw these guys forever ago. It was just the two of them doing like electronic music. And the energy of Sam and Judah was out of this fucking world. I loved it.
We like to put a lot of energy into it. We like to make it like funny, like how hard we're going. Some of it's like not really super like danceable, and we're just like going nuts. So it's kind of satirical in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. Would you say that goes into the choice of style in a way, or?
Oh, it's a nice place, so we like to dress up.
Do you notice that there's like a particular song that gets the crowd really energized, that you get a lot of good reception
Yeah,
from?
we have one called Bite My Teeth that people really like.
And the riot.
Right. I'm really excited to watch the set. It'll be my second time seeing you guys live, so
My first.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're looking forward to it.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're Weaponize Chomsky. Say happy birthday to Sam.
Thank you.
We're here at Howdy. We just saw Weaponized Chomsky, and I'm here with
Jacob.
How'd you guys hear about tonight?
I've been coming here for a little bit. I'm kind of new to the area, but I've been coming like every other couple weeks, and I just follow them online. Put out like a calendar for like all the shows they do. So
What was the question? Sorry, trying to.
Did you hear about the show tonight?
I texted Gabe and was like, hey, when are you going to a local show next? Because I wanted to start going to more, and that was tonight, so here I am.
What'd y'all think of the Weaponized Chomsky set?
I think third time seeing them. I usually see them at Farewell. Yeah, I think they're fucking cool. They're awesome. Yeah, the energy, especially with the lights and everything today. That was like some extra stuff that I haven't seen before. That was nice. Yeah.
What I really enjoyed about Weaponized Chomsky was they really hit like a groove together. It's really easy to vibe along with whenever they hit that groove, while playing with that much energy too. So
Y'all ever step in the pit at any point?
Not me. I try to stay back, but it seems fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of soft too, but I definitely did get some of the, like, tertiary action happening. Somebody just went straight into me, saw I was not in the pit, and just still definitely live in there. A lot of energy. I noticed everybody was just kind of headbanging together, which is real cool.
Do y'all have a favorite song by chance?
That like first song they do, you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about? That one's pretty fun, I feel like. Sam told me, I don't know if I'm supposed to really say, but he said something about like they're working on like more hip hop stuff.
That's kind of what it sounded like when
Yeah,
they were playing that new song.
It gave me
That's
like
dope.
some Beastie Boy type vibes at certain points, yeah.
That last song, I kind of took me back to kind of just some 90s rap. It's cool because it still has a very like bass-driven like sound, but then you can definitely hear some like influence from those older rappers. And I know you said Beastie Boys, but I feel like it's almost like something new. It's like blending two things that have been blended before, just in a new way. That last song, the new one, was definitely my favorite.
Shout out Noam Chomsky.
We just saw a set from Weaponize Chomsky, and I'm here with...
Liv. Aubrey. I live with Judah, who plays bass. They practice in my basement.
How would you describe their music?
Probably like post-industrial.
I think it's just like hardcore. I think someone's compared it to like Deftones.
They also have like a Beastie Boys vibe to them. There's like 3 of them, and they play hard music. So
Yeah.
Sam
basically
kinda
the Beastie
sounds-
Boys. Yeah.
And not gonna lie, that their other new stuff that's coming out is really good.
Yeah.
Like seriously, wait for their album to drop. Like it's really good.
Would you say that you get to hear a big part of kind of the evolution of like the songs as they get written?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's like good music, so it's not horrible to hear it like forming.
Kind of hear them being like, hey, like what if we do like this? And then they kind of like go a different direction and like they go like slower and you're like, damn, like truly you can see it being formed. And I feel like I was like on the ride with them.
They're all like such individually like super talented people, so it's really cool to like hear them go from like this very hard, heavy sound to like wanting to create something that's a bit more droning noise, but like in a beautiful way.
Do you have a favorite part of a Weaponized Chomsky show?
Some of the like sayings that they say, like all your is burning.
All your shit is burning. All your shit is burning.
Or like bite my teeth, clench my fist. The crowd can kind of be interactive. Those are kind of my favorite parts.
The lighting is dope too. I really like the song Texas. It's pretty heavy. Like, I also love that they don't take themselves too seriously, so it's a bit more relatable, and I feel like they draw a crowd of like really cool people.
You said like we heard it like a lot, and I kind of thought I was gonna get like sick of it, but I swear to God, like every show, it doesn't get old, and I'm just like, I don't know, that's something special.
And I'm here with your friends of the band, Isaac and Amanda. How long have y'all known the band?
I met them at the beginning of this year.
I saw them in January at the first Casey Tennett's show.
Do y'all have a favorite part of a Weaponized Chomsky show?
Every show that they do is different somehow. Every single time I feel like it gets heavier, it gets crazier.
What is it about Weaponized Chomsky's music that you think appeals to you?
The deep bass tones, the heavy like synth, the drums, the slow drums. Judah's energy is just like no other.
Honestly think they're doing something that like not any other band in Kansas City is doing. It's hard to find an act like them, so it's really cool.
We're here at the Weaponized Chomsky Casa and Practice House. I just wanted to say thank you guys to start for letting us come over and all the hospitality, and for letting us play Smash later.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
How was your birthday?
Birthday was good. Never doing a birthday show again for sure. It was just too much. And it was actually a really good birthday. You know, it just probably should be chiller than it was. We did hang out most of the day, which was awesome. Easily the best part of the day. You know, I was just kind of tired and networking, chatting with people. And yeah, can you tell I just came from my corporate job?
So are you all originally from Kansas City?
I'm from Warrensburg, Missouri, which is like central Missouri.
I'm from like Kansas, just like Overland Park. I moved to Independence a couple years ago. It's been a life changer. I'm starting to learn the streets and all that sort of shit.
I was born in Iowa, but I've lived here like ever since I can remember.
What kind of gravitated you guys towards local music in Kansas City? What ultimately brought this group together?
Originally, Sam and I started the project just in our apartment, around on Ableton, and we didn't really like want to do live shows or anything like that. Kind of realized that there was like more of a scene going on in Kansas City, and then we started like doing Chomsky together. Reese just started doing drums for us at one point, and it just kind of happened organically.
I actually learned drums for this project, so I'd never touched drums before I played with you guys. So I could practice and have an easy life and all that, but I kind of like the chaos of
So I did not have any experience with music. Judah showed me how to use Ableton. Ableton is a DAW, so it's basically just everything you can create, full songs, full records on it. And then we started making songs together, and that turned into the first album. We, wanted it to be a better situation live, so then Reese came in and became the drummer, and I went into analog synths. The local scene was not something I was familiar with, and it's been great though, getting in there and meeting people and stuff, and they've been very welcoming in Kansas City. So
Speaking kind of those like early days of Weaponize Chomsky, there's a clear difference between kind of your first album and your second album. What do you think may have inspired sort of that transition, and how did that come about?
We always try to defy genre, and like I think it's always important to us to have like a sort of air of originality to our music. There wasn't a lot of inspiration for the Time Destroys Everything. It was more like a synthesis of like having a synthesizer, a bass, and drums, and kind of like all putting our heads together to blend those elements in a way that we thought sounded good. So I think we were just more following the breadcrumbs of like the formula that we put in place rather than like going after a specific sound.
the first album that Judah and I did was very influenced by, yes, like punk music and industrial music and a lot of like electronic music. One of the few lucky listeners that listen to the whole thing front to back, you'll know that there's a lot of different stuff in it because it's like very eclectic is a nice word, messy is another word that someone might use. But with Time Destroys Everything, it was mostly like us leaning into like the scene and making something that's very heavy and very punk and something that we thought people would really react to and something that we wanted to play. So Time Destroys Everything definitely was more of like, well, first catering to live music, live heavy music, and also trying to capture our live set in an album in kind of like a record context.
The first album was written to be like listened to the recordings, and the Time Destroys Everything was written like for the room.
Do you think adding a drummer was sort of an intentional part of that process?
Just like did the most we could with just running through like the PA speakers and like having drums like run through that. And I think we're just like not into it anymore. Just it's not like that loud or anything. So we wanted to add drums to make it like loud as fuck. But Reese's like drumming definitely influenced the sound of the music like more than we were intending to, for sure.
Like it was very intentional to add Reese as a drummer. We talked about like we need a drummer. We have to pick somebody that we're really cool with, and Reese was down, so that's what happened. The other side of that was just like a more organic creative process as opposed to us creating drum beats that are very like in a grid and very electronic and a lot less fluid and a lot less soulful. Reese coming in and doing the drums that he does, the way that he does it is like the most perfect element to our music or what Judah and I create creatively. Do you want to add anything to that? All right, cool.
just gassing you up, you know.
Can I just say how much I love this guy real quick?
Fans were really curious as to where you kind of see stuff going in the future. What could we be expecting from new material?
The next evolution for sure. It's definitely different. It's definitely, I don't know how vague we want to be with this. I would say it's definitely still Chomsky, definitely different. I would say more finessed.
Whatever we're preparing for next, we spent a lot more time on and a lot more thought, and it's going to be probably easier to listen to. It's pop.
You know, I do want to ask, how would you describe your music? I'm going to ask you three different ways. First, how would you describe your music to a child?
Like to a child, I don't talk to many. If I were to tell a kid, I would say like very loud. That's like probably the simplest way I can put it.
I would say techno-feudalist noise rock.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd tell a child other than that they probably shouldn't listen to it.
How would you describe your music to your grandma?
Yeah, my grandma with our band for real. I think she was pretty fake about it. She was like, "Oh, that's so nice." He's like, it sounds very creative.
Creative.
Yeah.
That's like the bless your heart of music compliments.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Maybe I'd say like it's like Bix Biter Back, but like faster.
I think I've described my music to my grandma before, and I just leave it. I just pretty much almost lie, just say it's like the Beatles and Frank Sinatra and
I really don't have anything clever to say. I would just say it's heavy and you're not going to like it. That's what I would say.
Finally, how would you describe it to just a fan in Kansas City who's interested in listening to your guys' music?
Something that's super important to us is pushing the boundaries of heavy music and maybe not trying to work within this like box that heavy music kind of exists in. We're not hardcore and we're not like metal and we're not like anything that's like adjacent to that. We're just like we use kind of those elements creatively, which I think a lot of people are maybe scared to like get too creative with heavy music. Creative heavy music, creative hardcore maybe.
it kind of helps, like us not really having a defining genre kind of helps. We can make whatever we want, essentially. We have no set type of music we're going to make. I think it's just like pretty much free. Like I can do whatever I want. I'll learn like some weird drum beat. We'll just play from that. It's not really anything set in stone that we try to go out and capture, I guess.
If it was just Time Destroys Everything and there wasn't the new stuff that we're going to do, I would say like avant noise rock is how I like to describe it. Because I don't really see us as like fitting in with, not fitting in, but like not necessarily, I don't know, like punk or hardcore or anything like that. And we probably are to a certain extent, but I like the term avant just because it's more open like that. New stuff, I would say same thing mixed with like, I don't know. I'm not going to say what the new stuff's going to sound like. Yeah. Avant noise rock.
Well, let's talk a bit about the name. So, I can only assume that it comes from Noam Chomsky. For anybody who doesn't know, linguist, thinker, philosopher. Is there anything that you'd like to tell us about the origin of the name and how that came about?
So Judah and I, before we even lived together, before we were doing any of the music stuff, we were just really stoned, low-key, in my apartment, and we were doing these bits, and then Weaponize Chomsky came up, and we were like, oh man, that would be such a good band name if we ever had a band. Yeah, that's the origin of the name. I think sometimes we touch upon political things, like anecdotally. As far as Noam Chomsky, I don't think either of us have read Noam Chomsky. I don't really care to. Yeah, fuck Noam Chomsky. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about it, really.
I remember the story kind of different. We were sitting on the stoop out front of our apartment. I think we were already making some beats. And yeah, I don't remember the joke, but it was a joke saying Weaponize Chomsky because I thought it was sort of oxymoronic in kind of a weird way. And I think like the Dadaist nature of something like so stupid and meaningless kind of perfectly describes what our band is all about.
But on the other hand, like you guys do talk about really serious topics and like your music. How do you try to balance like, not taking yourself too seriously, but also like bringing attention to kind of hot button topics or things that, mean a lot to you in your personal experience?
I think that's just kind of who we are as people. Like we're really stupid and like just like funny and like not really like serious, but we're also like care a lot about things. So I think it's just like a reflection of probably who we are, I would say.
Yeah. When we're writing lyrics, we usually do it. Sometimes we do it like together. Sometimes we do it like separately. Whenever we're on a song together and stuff, it's not like we're trying to be like political ideologues or we're just like expressing ourselves. Texas, and not to get into like deeper lyrics and stuff. Sandy Hook happened, and I was just like so fucking depressed because that happened. So on my lunch break, I wrote the lyrics to Texas because it was just like a poem or a form of expression. I feel like that's typically how either of us do it, and whether it's like more surreal or Dadaist lyrics or anything, it just still comes from like a place of expression, which I think is more like intimate rather than like, we're cool, we're too cool for school, or whatever. Like we're cool like rock people. It's like no, we're just like a couple of dorky dudes that want to express ourselves through music.
I just like yelling. I can't sing. I can't do I just have one little scream on Texas.
When I listen to Time Destroys Everything, like it's almost like I feel like I'm in that basement or whatever that's on the cover. Is that your basement? Or like where is that cover
I
photo?
don't think it exists anymore. It was just like a little burned down place or something like that.
The inspiration is you wanted to show your ass.
Yeah. I know a lot of times I'll almost just listen to an album just because I thought the album cover looked cool. Shout out to these two guys when they took the album photo cover because I edited out my balls for like a couple hours. They had to zoom in on that thing and edit out my balls.
There was a hot debate whether or not we should put a little blurred like square over his balls or just like take them out entirely. I think Sam's pretty proficient in ball removal, so.
What would you describe as being sort of the most unique trait with Weaponize Chomsky compared to kind of anything else that someone might hear?
I would say influence of hip hop mixed with eclectic kind of like noise rock elements I haven't really heard before. Typically with like really noisy rock music like that, it's just very rock. It's like very punk. And I think with our bars sometimes, I think that is pretty unique. We come from the heart, the guttural like sense, which I think a lot of people overindulge with like their ego when they're writing stuff. I don't know. Like I don't necessarily hear a lot of music, modern music anymore in general that feels like it's not influenced by commercial music.
I think it's unique that we are very, very interested in like songwriting from a non-heavy perspective. We're not really interested on just like making it like the heaviest song as possible. Like for instance on tracks like The Void, like it's really loud and like really distorted, but it's very sweet melody and it's kind of more of like a song.
Y'all have crazy live shows. What sort of inspired your live show setup?
Really started from very bare bones and we've just kind of slowly learned what we want to do with it and like how we want to perform. We used to do like a very different thing where we would do like the TV stuff. And it's still cool, but it's just incredibly hard to do. So I'm kind of like over it, you know.
Also, the kids that get too high, they just watch the TV and they don't even listen to our music. So I just wanted to add that too.
It's true.
It's distracting.
No, without the TV, people actually like fuck with the show more, I think. But the TV thing, people are just, they're like iPad baby.
Yeah.
That's great. They're fun. I mean, like people go crazy. Bite My Teeth in particular. I mean, I think that's your most listened to song on Spotify currently. Did you expect that one to kind of become kind of the beloved one that it has been?
We had a hunch. That was the one that we made the video for. It's maybe the most like instantly catchy.
It was always my favorite, so I've always loved that one.
It's the funnest to play for me. It's just really fast and I feel like aggressive. Like same thing with Texas too. That and Texas are tied for being like my favorite to play. Texas is just really fun because it gets pretty like visceral to play. Texas. Best lyrics in my
To answer your question, Texas is the most underrated Chomsky song.
Listen to Texas. So is there anything else that you guys plan on incorporating into a live show in the future that you can tease? Or
We definitely always want to evolve and just do what we're inspired by at the time. I don't think we want to fall into a pattern of like always doing the same stuff. So we definitely have some ideas for like more stuff to do in the future, but we're really happy with the way we're performing right now.
I kind of wanted to finish this off just asking a bit about y'all as just dudes. Like what do y'all do when you're not doing Weaponize Chomsky? And
I have 3 cats. I have an amazing girlfriend who I love very much.
What does she think of Weaponize Chomsky?
She really respects us creatively. It's not her vibe, but you know, she probably wishes I made more chiller music. I like to read. I like to hammock at Loose Park. I just like to take it very easy basically when I'm not doing Chomsky. I'm not at work.
Music is my biggest thing. I pretty much work to make music, and that's pretty much what I enjoy doing. Like music has been like my almost like number one thing for the past couple of years. I have a dog. This is him. His name's Elvis. That is my like child right there. But other than that, it's just playing music and working. If you need like a bathroom done, just hit up the band and I got you.
Yeah, I just work and do art and music. That's pretty much it. Chomsky's important to us, but like life is also like really important to us, and I think we're always trying to balance like how much effort to put into Chomsky and how much focus on like our own lives and stuff like that. But with Chomsky, I think this is something that we're going to be doing for like a really long time, like probably as long as we're all like alive or friends or whatever. Mm-hmm. We would just really love writing songs together, and I think we're just going to like slowly keep evolving into what we are most interested in at the time and keep going like that.
The scene here is really awesome. I love playing with all, like, we need more bands around here. We need more venues. The venues that do exist, they're all
super cool. All the other bands around here are super cool. Everybody around here is a friend. But we need more bands. We need more people doing stuff. Like if you play an instrument, start a band. If like you can interview people, what you guys do, it's fucking awesome. Just literally anything just to make this place a really tight-knit and solid thing to capture this time period that we're in now of all these bands. Yeah, we just need to cement what we're doing here. Whatever stuff you put out will just mark this era in KC for like, this is just the era of KC, what we're doing now, so.
We love being part of the KC scene. We have no intentions of moving. We with it here.
Shout out Noam Chomsky.